welcome to a new vlog and video of the cruise vibes. And today we are on the MSC Euribia, the ship that we have discovered in the last video. And in this video I'm going to show you a bit more about the cabin and the life on board. Here on the map you can see our route. We are going from Hamburg to Zeebrugge and we're staying on board for 2 nights. I arrived with the train you can see in the background in Hamburg main station, and as it is a Sunday I cannot take the ferry to the cruise terminal Steinwerder that I'm usually taking, as the ferry is not operating on Sundays. Instead I'm taking the S-Bahn to the station of Veddel, and from Veddel I can take a bus to the cruise terminal. Unfortunately also this possibility is not working in the winter months, as the bus is not operating all the year, so make sure to check the schedule. If you're traveling from Hamburg in winter season, it might be a bit difficult to get to the terminal without a taxi. If you arrive in Veddel, you have to leave the train station at the exit on the east side, and then you just follow the signs to the museum, and then you will find the bus station, and there you can take the bus line number 256. And this bus will bring you to the station Argentinienbrücke, and from there it's just a short walk to the cruise terminal Steinwerder. As you may know, Hamburg has a lot of different cruise terminals, so make sure to check at which terminal your cruise ship is docked at. Here we can see our beautiful MSC Euribia, my home for the next 2 nights. The newest and most environmentally friendly ship of MSC Cruises, and we are going with this ship to Zeebrugge. I had a very early embarkation slot, so that's why I couldn't take the shuttle bus that is also provided from the main station to the cruise terminal, but I had to be there a bit earlier. But the good thing about this early embarkation time is that I could even have a breakfast on board on the embarkation day, and that is something very nice. After that I spent some time in the carousel lounge, and then I wanted to go to the Aurora Borealis restaurant for lunch, which was announced and also written in the daily program. But once I was there, everybody was sent away to go to the buffet restaurant, so there must have been some kind of communication mistake. That was not perfect, but never mind. And after lunch my cabin was ready. I had an inside cabin on deck 12, which is like a standard cabin. But it is pretty spacious. It has a proper desk with a lot of power sockets. We have a nice comfortable bed. Storage space is not that excellent, so it's good for a week, but if you would stay longer on this ship it might be not enough storage space. Otherwise the cabin is very bright and modern colors. I personally do like it a bit more colorful, but you know, the style with the color beige is pretty modern right now, so this is a very modern and nice cabin. And now we can take a look into the bathroom, which is rather small but has everything you need. You have a lot of storage space and you have a proper shower without a curtain but with a glass door, so that's also very nice. Here we can see the impressive Galleria Euribia, in this case with a more realistic picture on the LED screen. And after that it was time for the mandatory safety drill. The safety drill is a combination of announcements, a movie shown on the TV, and a few things you have to do on the MSC app on your phone. And it is very easy and very comfortable. After that it was already time for dinner, and here we can see how the food looks on the Euribia, and it is very typical for MSC. The quality of the food is very nice, everything tastes very good, but the presentation is okay-ish. So of course they are doing a lot of food for a big amount of people, so they cannot put that much effort into the looks, but the food tastes very nice and the overall quality is also good. After that I went to the Sky Lounge. I was very lucky, I got the last available seat on the window, so I could enjoy the sail away out of the harbor of Hamburg, which is always very spectacular. During a sail away I enjoyed a gin tonic and the spectacular view over the port of Hamburg. And here we are sailing past the Airbus factory of Hamburg Finkenwerder. And on this day I went to bed quite early because I had to start very early in the morning to be in Hamburg on time. So that's why this evening I went to bed a bit earlier. So I just waited until we sailed past the Hamburg Airbus factory and then I went to sleep. And then on the next day I had to wake up very early in the morning as I wanted to make my ship tour that you have seen in the last video. Then that's another reason why I had to go to sleep quite early. After my ship tour I was one of the first guests in the buffet restaurant for breakfast. Usually I prefer the a la carte breakfast, but in this case it was so early that the a la carte restaurant was still closed and I was already hungry and I needed my coffee, so that's why I went to the buffet restaurant. And then I had a very relaxing, calm day at sea on board of the MSC Euribia, which I spent in the carousel lounge because there you have the nicest view over the stern wave. Enjoyed a nice coffee and then it was already time for lunch. This time I went to the Aurora Borealis as I planned yesterday, where I had a nice lunch, very tasty again. So food quality was quite good on board. And then I did something that I've never done before on a cruise ship. I went to a hairdresser and it was quite nice. I had a very nice haircut in the end. And then it was time for the welcome drink, and that means that you get a free glass of sparkling wine in all bars on the 2 main decks with public areas. After that I did a digital wine tasting. I told you a bit about this in the ship tour and here we can see it a bit closer. So you sit in front of the screen and then you can get all the information about the wine that is in your glass. On the screens you can find out how the wine is produced, where it is produced, and all of this information can be found on the screen, and it's done very nicely. It's quite interesting and a very nice experience, so I can highly recommend doing that. You can either try just 1 or 2 glasses and you can just choose whatever you want, or you can book like a package. In this case I got 3 red wines together with small snacks that work very well with the wine, and also a glass of water. Additionally to the explanations on the screen, you will also get explanation by the very nice and helpful crew around. So this is a very good experience and I can highly recommend trying that out when you're on board the MSC Euribia. And from activities, this was my favorite during the cruise. And then it was already time for dinner. Once again, very nice and tasty, as always with MSC. I think with MSC the food quality is very consistent on all of the ships, is more or less the same, not looking too nicely but tasting very well. And then I was lucky again, I got one of the highly requested seats for the welcome speech of the captain. After that I enjoyed a late night snack in form of pizza, and that was it for the day at sea. And on the next morning, it was already the last day on board. I had a very nice a la carte breakfast in the Aurora Borealis restaurant, and then it was time to say goodbye to my cabin and also to the wonderful MSC Euribia. In Zeebrugge you're not allowed to walk in the port, so we had to queue up for the shuttle buses that brought us to the terminal, but that took only 5 to 10 minutes because they had multiple buses in use and the ride takes about 5 minutes only. In the terminal I received my luggage and then I was traveling home. How to leave the port of Zeebrugge will be the topic of the next videos. In this case I took the Kusttram, the coastal tram, to the station of Blankenberge, and from there you can take the train, and these train rides will be the topic of the following videos. This is it for this video. I hope it was interesting for you. Here you can see when the next video will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider to comment, like or share the video link. And if you would like to see more about cruise ships, then make sure to follow, because I have of course many more ship videos to come.